In the hush of twilight, where the world softens its edges and the stars begin to whisper ancient secrets to the earth below, survival unfolds as a gentle, unhurried rhythm. Long ago, in the vast and serene expanses of the American frontier, the mountain men learned to dance with the land rather than wrestle against it. They drew their lives from the quiet, generous gifts of the wild, shelters woven from whispering branches that cradled them like trusted companions, fires that flickered softly through the velvet night, releasing curls of sweet wood smoke into the crisp air, and winding paths that led them ever deeper into a profound, enveloping peace. In our modern world, filled with the constant hum of lights, screens, and endless noise, these nearly forgotten ways offer a soothing balm, a timeless lullaby drawn from history itself. Tonight, allow yourself to drift gently back to the year 1831, to the tranquil valleys nestled in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, where the air is pure and cool, carrying the faint, resinous perfume of towering pines and the distant, melodic trickle of crystal-clear streams over smooth, sun-warmed stones. Here, one man's quiet wisdom will guide you through the calm, restorative embrace of the wilderness, a place where the soul finds rest amid nature's gentle symphony. If these serene stories help you unwind, easing the tensions of the day and inviting the soft pull of sleep, consider giving this video a like or subscribing. It truly warms my heart to know they bring you peace. And in the comments below, share your city and the time there. It's wonderfully calming to picture you listening cozily under a thick blanket in Berlin at dawn, or perhaps in a quiet room in Sao Paulo as night deepens, while I record this in the still, soothing evening here in the States. All right, now settle in deeply. Let the worries and hurried thoughts of the day melt away like morning mist rising from a quiet lake. Adjust your pillows just so. Pull the covers close around you, dim the lights until the room glows softly, and allow the gentle, rhythmic flow of a mountain river to carry you into this peaceful tale. The evening breeze sighs ever so lightly through the ancient pines, its cool fingers brushing your cheek with a touch as soft as silk, scented deeply with the warm, golden resin of sun-baked bark and the faint, distant hint of high country, snow lingering on shadowed peaks. It is October 1831, deep in the heart of the Rockies, where the mountains rise like eternal, watchful guardians, their rugged faces still holding the last tender glow of sunset in hues of rose and amber that reflect gently on the mirrored surfaces of secluded pools. You've been journeying in this vast, whispering wilderness for weeks now, a newcomer gradually awakening to its profound serenity, guided by Old Bill, a man whose weathered skin tells tales of countless peaceful nights under starlit skies, whose quiet voice carries the steady calm of one who has long ago learned to listen to the land's subtle songs, and whose deliberate steps fall as softly as autumn leaves drifting onto a thick bed of moss. As the sun dips lower on the horizon, the sky transforms into a masterpiece of gentle washes, lavender blending seamlessly into soft rose, pale gold fading into deepening indigo, that bathe the landscape in a warm, diffused light, making every leaf and stone glow with an inner tranquility. The forest around you begins its nightly ritual of hush. Birds settle into their hidden nests with faint, contented chirps that fade like distant echoes. A lone elk moves gracefully through the underbrush, its hooves barely disturbing the carpet of fallen needles, and the distant trickle of a mountain stream over polished pebbles creates a constant, soothing melody, steady and reassuring, like the slow, even breath of the earth itself. Time to make camp, Bill murmurs at last, his voice low and gravelly, blending perfectly with the evening's profound calm, much like the soft rustle of dry leaves stirred by a lazy wind. There is no rush in his words, no urgency in his tone, just the simple, natural rhythm of a life lived in harmony with the turning of days, as instinctive and comforting as your own deepening breaths. You find the ideal spot beside a gentle stream, where the water flows smooth and clear, its surface catching the last glimmers of daylight in tiny, sparkling ripples that dance like scattered diamonds. The ground here is luxuriously soft, blanketed thick with layers of pine needles that spring gently beneath your moccasins, releasing a rich, aromatic scent of warm resin and earthy richness with every step. A natural bed that promises deep, restorative rest. The air feels lighter and cooler near the water's edge, carrying the clean, invigorating tang of mineral springs bubbling from deep within the mountains, mingled with the subtle freshness of willow leaves swaying overhead. Bill shows you, with patient, unhurried gestures, how to gather supple branches for a lean-to shelter. Willow wands that bend willingly in your hands, their barks smooth and cool to the touch, creaking faintly as you shape them. Lean the poles against that sturdy fallen log, he says softly, his rough, calloused hands guiding yours with a reassuring steadiness. Angle them just right, to catch and reflect the fire's warmth later, like the mountains hold the sun's heat long after dusk. You work together in companionable silence, the repetitive motions deeply meditative and calming. Bend a branch slowly, feel its flexible strength yield without breaking. Place it carefully, hearing the quiet thud against the log, secure with twists of rawhide cord that feel tough yet pliable between your fingers. The earthy smell of freshly disturbed soil rises gently as you anchor the base, and layers of fragrant pine boughs are added atop the frame, their needles soft and feathery like the finest down, overlapping with a hushed rustle that sounds almost like a sigh of contentment. As the light fades to a peaceful twilight indigo, the shelter emerges as a cozy, inviting nook, womb-like and protective, open to the slowly emerging stars, yet shielded from the soft evening chill, filled with the comforting perfume of fresh evergreen and the faint, damp richness of the forest floor. Now comes the fire, that ancient companion of humankind, a source of endless gentle warmth and light. Bill kneels beside a small pit he's cleared with slow, deliberate scrapes of his knife, the blade whispering against the cool, moist soil as he shapes it into a perfect circle of dark earth. He arranges the dry tinder with care, shreds of pale inner bark from fallen logs, soft as velvet and carrying a faint, sweet woody aroma, wisps of dried grass tucked safely away earlier, light and feathery to the touch. Watch closely now, he says in that low, soothing rumble, striking flint to steel with a faint, metallic ring that echoes softly in the still air. A cascade of tiny sparks showers down like miniature falling stars, warm and bright against the gathering dusk, and one lands perfectly, glowing with a tender orange ember on the prepared char cloth. He blows ever so gently, his warm breath a subtle force you can almost sense, the ember responding with a delicate expansion, growing into a fragile flame that rises with a quiet, welcoming whoosh. The first curls of wood smoke ascend lazily, sweet and comforting like the aroma of baking bread on a quiet evening, mingling seamlessly with the crisp, clean night air that now carries the faint chill of approaching frost. You feed the young fire carefully, adding slender twigs one by one, their dry surfaces crackling softly as they catch, releasing bursts of aromatic pine resin that fill your lungs with a soothing, medicinal warmth. The flames build gradually, without haste, their gentle heat spreading across your face and hands like a loving caress, pushing back the cool air and casting flickering golden shadows that play lazily on the rough, textured bark of surrounding trees, making them seem alive with quiet movement. Sit back now, if you will, and simply feel that tender warmth seep into your skin, the faint, rhythmic snap and pop of burning pine a lullaby in itself, easing the day's subtle exertions from your muscles and inviting a profound, settling calm that sinks deep into your very bones. As the fire settles into a steady, comforting glow, your stomach offers a soft, gentle rumble, a quiet reminder of the body's simple, natural needs. Bill reaches into his possibles bag with deliberate slowness, drawing forth a pouch of pemmican, that timeless sustenance of the frontier. Dried meat pounded fine and mixed with rich rendered fat and tart, sun-dried berries, its surface slightly waxy and cool in your palm, dense and reassuring like a promise of enduring nourishment. Chew it slow and easy, he advises with a nod, handing you a portion that feels substantial yet yielding. The texture is chewy at first, requiring patient work of the jaw, but as it warms on your tongue, it releases deep, savory umami flavors laced with smoky undertones, and occasional bursts of sweet tart berry that linger pleasantly, nourishing body and spirit without any overwhelming rush. To complement it, you gather a handful of foraged greens from nearby, tender young ferns unfurling like delicate green scrolls, their fronds soft and cool, wild onions with their sharp, fresh scent rising as you gently crush them between your fingers, releasing a clean, pungent aroma that cuts through the evening air. These boil slowly in a small tin pot, suspended over the flames, the water coming to a soft, bubbling simmer that fills the air with clouds of earthy steam, warm against your face and carrying comforting, home-like scents of simmering herbs and roots. Eating unfolds unhurriedly, each bite a mindful moment to truly savor. The subtle, satisfying crunch of greens yielding to tenderness, the lingering richness coating your palate like a gentle embrace, all accompanied by the quiet companionship of the fire's soft glow and the stream's endless, rhythmic murmur nearby. With darkness now fully descended, the stars reveal themselves one by one in the vast velvet canopy overhead. Bright, countless points of cool silver light that twinkle softly, their ancient glow reflecting faintly on your skin and filling the soul with a sense of infinite, peaceful vastness. The air has grown crisper, carrying the clean, invigorating scent of impending frost mingled with the lingering sweetness of wood smoke. Bill shares a quiet story then, his voice a low, soothing rumble akin to distant thunder, gently rolling away over far-off hills. Never startling, but always drawing you deeper into relaxation. Back in the summer of 25, he begins, poking the fire with a long stick so that embers rise like glowing fireflies, casting brief warmth on your face. I wintered alone in a high valley much like this one, snow falling soft and steady for days on end, each flake cool and feather light on your cheek as it settled, blanketing the world in a thick, muffling white peace that hushed everything to perfect stillness. No need to hurry or move, just waited it out in my little shelter, listening to the wind sing low and mournful through the high passes, breathing the pure, biting cold that clears the mind of all clutter and leaves only quiet behind. His words weave slow, vivid tapestries in your imagination, snowflakes drifting lazily downward in endless silence, settling with the faintest whisper on branches heavy with their weight. The profound hush of a frozen landscape broken only by the occasional soft creak of ice-laden trees. The deep, enveloping warmth of a small fire pushing back against the pure, exhilarating cold that invigorates even as it invites rest. You lean back against your bedroll, the rough wool blanket scratching softly but familiarly against your neck, its scent of smoke and natural lanolin wrapping around you like an old, trusted friend. The ground beneath feels solid and supportive, its slight give from the thick pine needles cradling your form perfectly, as if the earth itself is inviting you to surrender to its gentle hold. Feel your eyelids growing heavier now, the fire's glow softening into a pulsing orange haze that blurs pleasantly at the edges of your vision. The night sounds compose a flawless lullaby tailored just for you. The overhead rustle of pine needles in a light breeze that cools your brow with tender touches. The stream's eternal, rhythmic flow over smooth stones, a steady, hypnotic murmur much like a loving heartbeat. A far-off wolf's call drifting across the valley, mournful yet melodic, fading gracefully into the encompassing silence without a trace of threat. Bill banks the coals with care, the faint scrape of ash over glowing embers of final, reassuring sound that promises warmth will greet the dawn without any need for haste. Sleep easy now, he whispers, his voice barely rising above the wind's soft sigh, as he settles into his own spot with a quiet rustle of wool on needles. The mountains stand watch over us, always. Your breaths deepen and slow, sinking effortlessly with the land's own gentle pulse. Thoughts drift like lazy clouds across a vast, moonlit sky, worries dissolving harmlessly into the star-filled stillness that surrounds you. This, truly, is the profound gift of the frontier, not fierce conquest or endless struggle, but a deep, abiding harmony with the world. A life where every moment invites profound peace, where survival becomes a serene, flowing dance with nature's ever-generous, calming embrace. Dawn creeps in softly once more, the first pale light of morning filtering through the canopy of pines like warm milk gently spilled across a vast, tranquil sky, carrying with it the fresh, dewy scent of awakening earth. Moist soil stirring under the sun's tender touch, wildflowers unfurling their petals with subtle, fragrant sighs. No abrupt awakening disturbs the peace. Instead, it's a gradual blossoming of brightness. The cool mist rising languidly from a stream to brush your face with moist, cleansing air that feels like nature's own soft kiss. Birds begin their morning chorus with gentle, liquid songs that float through the branches like threads of melody, weaving harmony into the air without a single jarring note. You rise slowly, almost dreamily, stretching limbs that feel deeply rested and subtly renewed. The faint, lingering ache from yesterday's unhurried walk now transformed into a pleasant, grounding reminder of the quiet strength you've begun to cultivate in this serene world. Bill is already stirring, but his movements remain calm and measured, like the slow unfurling of a fern frond in spring. He checks the banked fire with a soft scrape of a stick against the embers, coaxing them back to life with patient breaths that release faint wisps of sweet smoke. Water from the stream is poured into the little tin pot, which hisses quietly as it warms over the flames, and soon the pine needle tea is ready, steaming gently with its mild, earthy aroma laced by a subtle, invigorating citrus tang that clears the mind as softly as a morning breeze parts the fog. Good for the spirit and the body, Bill murmurs with a nod, handing you a cup that warms your palms through the metal, the heat spreading like a soothing wave through your fingers and up your arms as you sip slowly, feeling it infuse your chest with a gentle, restorative glow. As the mist lifts fully, revealing the valley in a soft, diffused focus where every tree and stone seems wrapped in a haze of peace, you prepare for the day's gentle journey. The path today leads upstream along the water's edge, where graceful willows bend and sway in the light breeze, their long, slender leaves whispering against one another like secrets shared in hushed tones. Your moccasins fall on thick, verdant moss that cushions each step with a soft, springy embrace, releasing the cool, verdant scent of the forest floor mingled with the faint, herbal freshness of nearby ferns. Bill points out the edible plants along the way with quiet reverence, his voice blending seamlessly with the soft gurgle of the stream. Clusters of wild berries ripening to deep, velvety purple under the sun's warm gaze, their skins cool and taut beneath your fingertips, bursting gently on your tongue with a tart sweet juice that lingers like a fond memory. Tender roots hidden just below the surface, unearthed with a faint, rich, earthy smell that grounds you in the moment. Nature provides abundantly if you simply listen and observe, he murmurs, his words floating on the breeze like dandelion seeds, inviting you to pause and gather a few, tucking them into your pouch for later with hands that feel increasingly attuned to the land's gentle offerings. The air this morning is fresh and alive, laced with the delicate perfume of wildflowers blooming in hidden meadows, tiny blue forget-me-nots nodding their heads in the wind, releasing a subtle, honeyed sweetness that dances lightly on the inhale. Butterflies flutter by on silent, gossamer wings, their colors soft pastels of lavender and gold against the lush green backdrop, their movements a quiet poetry that draws the eye without demanding attention. There is no rush to cover great distances. The journey itself unfolds as the true reward, a meditative stroll through corridors of towering pines where shafts of sunlight filter down in golden beams, warming your skin with a tender caress and casting playful shadows that shift lazily across the path. By midday, you pause in a sun-dappled clearing where the golden light streams through the quaking aspen leaves overhead, creating ever-shifting patterns of warmth and shade on your skin that feel like nature's own massage. The grass beneath you is soft and slightly damp from the morning dew, releasing a fresh, hay-like scent as you sit and lean back, the blades cool against your palms. Bill demonstrates a simple snare for small game with unhurried grace, not driven by any pressing need, but as part of the quiet art of living in harmony with the wild. His fingers move with patient precision, weaving soft cord that feels smooth and pliant against your own as you mimic him. The faint rustle of grass, the only accompaniment to this serene lesson. Set it here, where the trail narrows naturally, he explained softly, his voice as gentle as the breeze ruffling the leaves. You try your hand at it, your fingers gradually learning the gentle knots that hold without strain, the repetitive motion lulling your thoughts into a state of profound stillness, where the world narrows to this one peaceful task, blocking out any distant echoes of haste or worry. Lunch emerges as a simple yet perfect ritual. Flatbread fashioned from cornmeal mixed with cool, clear stream water, the dough soft and slightly sticky under your palms as you shape it, then baked on a flat, hot stone beside the fire until it releases a comforting, toasty aroma that fills the clearing with homey warmth. Paired with the gathered berries that burst on your tongue with the essence of summer sweetness, it's deeply satisfying and grounding, each bite allowing the bread's gentle warmth to spread through you, the flavors mingling in a harmonious blend that nourishes without excess. Eat slowly, deliberately, watching as lazy clouds sail overhead like great white vessels on an endless blue sea, their shapes inviting idle, drifting thoughts that carry no weight, only whimsy. Bill shares another tale in his low, steady voice as you rest, the words unfolding like a soft blanket being spread out. Once in these very hills, I stumbled upon a hidden hot spring, water bubbling up warm and inviting from the earth's depths, steam rising thick and sulfur-tinged, wrapping around you like a misty veil as you soak, your muscles melting into the heat. Every knot of tension dissolving into the mineral-rich waters while the world around fades to a pure, enveloping relaxation. Imagine it vividly now, the enveloping warmth seeping into your skin like liquid sunlight, the soft hiss of bubbles rising around you, the faint, earthy mineral scent filling your lungs and clearing your mind, the steam curling lazily upward to mingle with the cool mountain air. The afternoon deepens this profound calm as you continue along the ridge, where the view opens wide and breathtaking. Mountains rolling away like gentle waves frozen in eternal repose, their slopes cloaked in a velvety mantle of dark green pines and aspens. Valleys below, cradling meandering rivers that sparkle like threads of liquid silver under the sun's benevolent gaze. A soft wind whispers through your hair, cool and invigorating, carrying the faint sweetness of distant meadows blooming with wild lupin and columbine, their petals soft to the touch if you pause to brush them. Bill teaches navigation with the same gentle patience, pointing to the sun's warm arc tracing lazily across the sky, the velvety moss growing thicker and softer on the north sides of ancient trees, the cool, downward flow of water over your fingers as you dip them into a trickling spring. No need for paper maps here, he says gently, his words drifting on the breeze like autumn leaves. The land itself tells you where to go, if you attune your senses to its whispers. Your steps synchronize with his in a shared, effortless rhythm, lulling the mind into a state of quiet, contented flow where time loses its grip. In this serene landscape, it's natural to reflect on the humans who inhabited this era. The mountain men of the early 19th century, rugged yet deeply attuned souls who ventured into these vast wilds not out of conquest, but in search of a peaceful communion with nature's rhythms. These men, often solitary wanderers hailing from the bustling settlements of the East like St. Louis, carried with them a quiet resilience forged in the face of endless horizons. Their behaviors were marked by a profound respect for the land and its inhabitants, moving through the wilderness with steps as light as a deer's, leaving minimal traces, fires small and contained, camps temporary and harmonious, always mindful that the earth was a shared gift. With associated people, their interactions unfolded with a calm diplomacy born of necessity and mutual understanding. Encounters with fellow trappers were rare but warm, like reunions of old friends around shared fire, where stories were exchanged in low voices over steaming cups of herbal tea, pelts traded with fair handshakes, and knowledge passed like heirlooms. Tips on the best streams for beaver, the softest moss for bedding, or the signs of approaching weather in the way birds flitted through the branches. More intricate were their relations with the native peoples of these lands, the Blackfeet, Crow, Shoshone, and others who had dwelled here for generations, their lives woven intricately into the fabric of the mountains. The mountain men approached these encounters with a gentle caution, recognizing the deep wisdom these tribes held in reading the land's subtle cues. The way a change in wind carried the scent of rain hours before clouds gathered, or how the rustle of leaves betrayed hidden game. Behaviors were guided by a code of quiet respect. Gifts of tobacco or beads offered with open palms, words spoken softly in a blend of signs, and learned phrases that bridged languages, always honoring territorial boundaries with unhurried detours. There were moments of serene trade. Beaver pelts exchanged for finely tanned buckskin that felt like silk against the skin, or horses bartered under the shade of cottonwoods, their manes soft and flowing. Even in times of potential tension, the mountain men sought harmony, sharing fires where stories flowed like the gentle streams, laughter mingling with the crackle of flames, fostering alliances that turned strangers into quiet companions under the same starlit sky. As evening draws near once again, the light turns to a golden hue, long shadows stretching softly across the land like fingers of dusk, inviting rest. You make camp by the edge of a lush meadow where wild grasses sway gracefully like ocean waves in a light current, their tips brushing your legs with feathery, tickling touches that bring a subtle smile. The air cools gradually, carrying the sweet, floral notes of evening primrose opening their petals to the twilight. Building the fire remains a low, intimate ritual, dry twigs gathered from beneath sheltering rocks, their surfaces rough yet warm in your hands, arranged in a small teepee that ignites with a soft pop, the flames rising steadily to release curls of fragrant smoke that dance upward into the fading blue. Supper emerges from the day's gentle harvest, tender meat from the snare, stewed slowly with unearthed roots in the tin pot, the flavors blending in a rich, savory harmony that warms from within, steam rising warm and inviting against your face, carrying hints of wild thyme and sage foraged earlier. The night sky unfolds gradually above, stars twinkling in a view like distant fireflies awakening in the deepening indigo, their light cool and reassuring on your skin. Bill's voice fades into more reflective tales of serene winters spent in snowbound valleys where the world hushed to a perfect, insulating silence under thick blankets of white, peaceful trades with native friends around shared fires where the scent of roasting venison mingled with laughter, nights under endless heavens with a Milky Way arched overhead like a luminous river guiding dreams. Feel the inevitable pull of sleep now, gentle and welcoming, as the fire's embers glow softly like slumbering rubies nestled in ash. The wind sighs a soft good night through the pines, its cool breath soothing on your brow. Meadow grasses whisper around you in hushed tones. The stream continues its endless, rhythmic lullaby of water over stone. Drift now, allowing the wilderness to cradle you in its vast, quiet arms. A life so simple, so profoundly harmonious, inviting rest like the oldest of friends, deep and dreamless and utterly complete. Weeks continue to blend in this soothing, timeless flow. Mornings enveloped in cool mist that beads on your skin like tiny, glistening pearls. Days filled with quiet discoveries, scented with rich earth and blooming flowers. Evenings of firelit reflection, where warmth seeps into your very soul like sunlight through leaves. You learn to tan hides with soft, deliberate motions, the animal brains working the fibers in a supple cloth that feels like warm butter against your fingers, providing comfort without any burdensome weight. Cross streams on bull boats fashioned from willow and hide, gliding across mirror-smooth waters with a gentle lap of ripples as the only sound, a passage as peaceful as floating on clouds. Track deer through dappled woods where sunlight filters in warm, golden shafts that caress your arms, their graceful movements mirroring your own emerging ease, the forest floor soft and fragrant beneath your feet with layers of fallen leaves cushioning every step. One tranquil night, under a full moon that bathes the land in cool, ethereal silver light, turning every leaf to delicate lace and casting long, soft shadows, Bill reflects quietly. Out here, a man finds the deepest quiet within himself. No clamor disrupts the peace, just the heart's steady beat matching the land's own gentle pulse. His words wrap around you like the softest wool blanket, heavy with an inviting peace that weighs your eyelids down. Sleep descends deep and welcoming, dreams unfolding of floating down serene rivers that carry you gently downstream on currents of silk, whispering winds brushing your face with feathery touches. Eternal mountains standing as silent sentinels wrapped in veils of mist and starlight. And so the seasons turn ever so gently, the mountains remaining as eternal, benevolent guardians in this calm wilderness where survival blossoms into pure serenity. Let your eyes close fully now, your breath slow and even like the tide of a distant sea. Feel the soft, enveloping weight of your blanket, the gentle rise and fall of your chest in perfect harmony. Good night, dear listener. Drift away on the quiet, resinous breath of the pines into realms of undisturbed rest. As the afternoon's golden light begins to soften, yielding to the subtle advance of twilight, you and Bill descend from the ridge into a secluded glen where the air hangs heavier, scented with the deep, loamy richness of ancient soil and the faint, mysterious tang of hidden springs bubbling from unseen crevices. The path here narrows, winding through groves of aspen whose leaves quiver like silver coins in the breeze, their pale undersides catching the fading sun in flashes that create an almost hypnotic shimmer. Your footsteps grow even more languid, sinking slightly into the soft, fern-covered earth that muffles all sound, as if the land itself is inviting you to slow, to listen more deeply to its whispers. In this tranquil hollow, something unusual stirs the calm. An odd formation of rocks rising from the ground like the weathered spines of some long-forgotten creature, their surfaces etched with peculiar patterns that resemble swirling runes or the veins of enormous leaves preserved in stone. Bill pauses, his hand resting lightly on one, feeling the cool, rough texture beneath his palm, and murmurs, "These old stones have stories of their own, marks from when the earth shifted in its sleep, or perhaps from hands long gone." You trace the lines with your fingers, the stones surprisingly warm from the day's sun, and for a moment, the patterns seem to shift subtly under your gaze, like shadows playing tricks in the dimming light, evoking a gentle sense of wonder rather than alarm. A strange, dreamlike whisper from the past that blends seamlessly with the glen's peaceful hush. As you continue, the stream rejoins your path, its waters now taking on an ethereal quality in the twilight, reflecting the sky's deepening hues in ripples that move like liquid silk. Here, an unexpected twist unfolds. A small herd of elk appears at the water's edge, but among them stands one with antlers that branch in an odd, asymmetrical fashion, one side twisting like a corkscrew, adorned with what looks like delicate vines woven naturally into the bone, as if the forest itself had claimed it in a gentle embrace. The animal regards you calmly, its large eyes reflecting the fading light like polished obsidian, and it dips its head to drink without fear, the water splashing softly in rhythmic laps. Bill watches with a quiet smile, his voice a soft rumble. Nature's quirks. Some creatures carry the wild secrets in their forms, reminders that not everything follows the straight path. The sight lingers in your mind as a soothing enigma, the elk's unusual grace, adding a layer of magical serenity to the scene, drawing you deeper into the land's rhythmic mysteries. Evening deepens as you make camp in a natural alcove formed by overhanging boulders, their moss-covered surfaces soft and velvety to the touch, releasing a faint, musty scent of ages past when you brush against them. The air here feels thicker, almost alive with the subtle hum of unseen insects tuning their evening chorus, a low, vibrating melody that harmonizes with the distant call of a loon echoing across a hidden pond. Bill gathers wood with his usual unhurried grace, selecting branches that snap cleanly with a satisfying, muted crack, their inner wood pale and fragrant like fresh-cut cedar. The fire ignites as before, but tonight the flames take on a strange, mesmerizing hue, tinged with a soft blue at the edges, perhaps from minerals in the soil or the peculiar sap of the local trees, casting an otherworldly glow that dances on the boulders like underwater light. Supper unfolds with the day's foraged treasures, roots roasted slowly until their skins crisp with a gentle pop, releasing steamy bursts of sweet, nutty aroma. Berries mashed into a simple paste that stains your fingers with deep purple juice, tart on the tongue, yet soothing as it spreads. But an odd detail emerges in the meal. A mushroom Bill identifies as safe, its cap shaped like a perfect spiral, glowing faintly in the firelight with a bioluminescent sheen that fades as it cooks, imparting a subtle, earthy flavor unlike any you've known, as if the forest's hidden lights have infused it with quiet magic. The wild offers these gifts rarely, Bill whispers, strange fruits of the earth that calm the mind and ease the body into rest. The taste lingers, a gentle twist that enhances the serenity, making each bite feel like a step deeper into a dreamlike state. As night fully claims the glen, the stars emerge in a canopy so dense it feels like a velvet blanket studded with diamonds, their light filtering through the aspen leaves in twinkling patterns that mimic fireflies frozen in time. Bill shares a tale with a rhythmic cadence, his voice rising and falling like the stream's flow. Long ago, in valleys like this, men spoke of lights in the woods, will-o'-the-wisps they called them, soft glowing orbs that danced without sound, leading wanderers not to peril, but to hidden springs of warm water or groves of healing herbs. I saw one once, a gentle blue flicker that hovered like a breath, guiding me through fog to a safe hollow. His words weave a soothing spell, and as he speaks, you notice an unusual phenomenon. Faint, ethereal wisps rising from the ground near the fire, perhaps steam from underground vents or the glow of phosphorescent fungi awakening in the dark, creating a soft, pulsating light that syncs with your slowing breaths. An odd yet calming presence that feels like the land's own lullaby. Feel the rhythm building now, the night's gentle cadence pulling you toward repose. The fire's soft crackle pop, the stream's murmur flow, the wind's sigh whisper. Your eyelids grow heavy with the weight of stars, the moss beneath your bedroll cradling you like a cloud, its cool softness seeping into your skin. Strange dreams begin to stir at the edges of consciousness. Visions of spiraling antlers glowing under moonlight, blue-flamed fires that sing without words, wisps that guide through velvet darkness. Bill's voice fades into the rhythm. Rest now. Let the mountain's secrets hold you close. The odd wonders of the day dissolve into peace, preparing the soul for deeper mysteries in the morrow's calm. The following dawn arrives with a twist of its own. A mist so thick it turns the world into a soft, white veil, scented with the clean purity of dew-kissed ferns and the faint, otherworldly ozone of a distant storm that never quite arrives. As you rise, the fog parts slowly, revealing unusual frost patterns on the leaves, intricate mandalas that sparkle like jewels, melting under your touch with tiny, tinkling drops. Bill notes them with quiet, The night's breath leaves these gifts sometimes, frozen whispers from the stars. The air feels charged yet serene, carrying the subtle hum of bees awakening in hidden hives, their wings a low vibration that resonates in your chest. Your path leads into a forested labyrinth where trees grow in peculiar clusters, their trunks twisting together like old friends embracing, forming natural arches that frame the trail with dappled light. Here, an odd encounter unfolds. A fox with fur that shifts colors in the sun, from russet to silver gold, crosses your way, pausing to regard you with eyes that seem to hold ancient knowing, dropping a single, perfect feather at your feet before vanishing into the underbrush with a soft swish. Spirits of a wood, some say, Bill murmurs rhythmically, harbingers of calm paths ahead. The feather feels light as air in your hand, its quill smooth and warm, an unusual talisman that brings a sense of guided serenity. By midday, you reach a meadow alive with wildflowers in impossible hues, blues deeper than the sky, purples that pulse faintly like living amethysts, buzzing softly with insects whose wings create a harmonious drone. Lunch is gathered from this bounty, petals that taste of honeyed dew, nuts with shells that crack open to reveal glowing interiors, strange yet delightful flavors that soothe the palate like a melody resolving. The rhythm of the day builds. Chew savor, breathe in, breathe out. Afternoon brings a twist in the terrain. A cave mouth yawning gently from a hillside, its entrance framed by vines that glow with bioluminescent veins, pulsing softly in time with your heartbeat. Inside, the air is cool and echoing with distant drips that form a natural metronome. Drip drop, revealing walls adorned with crystals that refract light into rainbows dancing on the stone. Bill explores with you, his lantern's flame casting warm shadows. Hidden chambers like this hold the earth's quiet oddities, places where time slows to a whisper. The strange beauty lulls you, an unusual sanctuary that enhances the day's peaceful flow. As evening nears, camp is made near a pond where water lilies float like dreams, their petals unfurling with a faint, audible sigh. The fire tonight burns with embers that form odd shapes, faces of ancient watchers, swirling patterns that evoke forgotten tales. Supper include a root that hums faintly when held, releasing a calming vapor when steeped. Bill's stories rhythmically build. In these woods, odd lights lead to restful glades. Twisted trees guard serene secrets. Glowing creatures whisper goodnight. The night's rhythm intensifies. Stars twinkle overhead. Owls hoot in soft duet. Winds sigh through leaves. Unusual dreams beckon, floating through crystal caves, riding color-shifting foxes, under skies of pulsing flowers. Feel the pull. Eyelids droop, breaths slow, body sinks into earth's embrace. The story's gentle twists weave toward closure, odd wonders fading into harmonious peace, setting the stage for the final, soothing resolution. As the mist of dawn fully dissipates, revealing a world bathed in the soft, pearlescent glow of early sunlight that filters through the canopy like threads of spun gold, you and Bill press onward into the heart of the mountain's deeper mysteries. The air this morning carries an amplified freshness, laced with the crisp bite of pine sap warming under the sun and the faint, ethereal undertone of wild mint crushed underfoot, releasing bursts of cool, invigorating scent that clears the mind like a gentle wave washing over smooth pebbles. Your path ascends gradually now, winding up a slope where the earth feels alive beneath your moccasins, soft, loamy soil giving way with each step, as if the ground itself is breathing in rhythm with your own steady inhalations. The trees here grow taller, their trunks etched with peculiar, swirling scars that resemble ancient scripts written by wind and time, bark peeling in delicate curls that catch the light and shimmer like aged parchment. A dramatic shift begins to unfold as you crest a hidden plateau, a vast expanse opening before you like a secret unveiled. The land drops away into a breathtaking cirque, a natural amphitheater ringed by sheer cliffs draped in cascading vines that drip with morning dew, each droplet falling with a faint, musical plink into pools below. The air here vibrates subtly, almost imperceptibly, with a low hum that resonates in your chest, perhaps from underground rivers echoing through caverns, or the collective sigh of the wind funneling through narrow passes. Bill pauses, his weathered face reflecting a rare flicker of awe, and points to the center of the cirque where an unusual sight commands attention. A solitary tree, ancient and colossal, its branches twisting skyward in defiance of gravity, adorned with crystalline formations that sparkle like frozen tears. Odd, natural quartz growths that have fused with the wood over centuries, catching the sun in prismatic rainbows that dance across the ground in hypnotic patterns. This is the Whispering Elder, Bill murmurs, his voice dropping to a reverent whisper that blends with the hum. A tree older than memory, said to hold the mountain's secrets in its veins. Touch it, and feel the pulse of the wild. You approach with unhurried steps, the grass underfoot lush and velvety, releasing a sweet, herbal fragrance as it brushes your ankles. Your hand meets the bark, rough yet surprisingly warm, pulsing faintly as if alive with an inner rhythm. The quartz crystals cool and smooth against your fingertips, sending a gentle tingle up your arm like static from a distant storm. For a moment, the world seems to tilt dramatically. Visions flicker at the edges of your sight, fleeting images of past mountain men gathered here in silent council. native elders sharing pipe smoke under its boughs, ethereal lights weaving through its branches like living threads. The hum intensifies, a soothing vibration that syncs with your heartbeat, drawing you into a profound sense of connection, as if the tree is whispering forgotten tales directly into your soul. Stories of endless winters where snow fell like silent blessings, summers where rivers sang lullabies, and the eternal dance between human wanderers and the land's quiet guardians. This encounter marks a turning point, infusing the journey with an attractive depth of wonder that pulls you forward. As you descend from the plateau, the path leads into a grove where the unusual escalates. Flowers bloom in impossible symmetry, their petals unfolding in synchronized waves, releasing a perfume so intoxicating, sweet vanilla mingled with exotic spice, that it dizzies the senses in a pleasant haze, like inhaling the essence of a dream. Among them, strange insects hover, their wings iridescent and shaped like tiny leaves, producing a melodic buzz that forms natural harmonies, as if composing a symphony for the forest alone. Bill gathers a few blossoms carefully, their stems sticky with nectar that glistens like liquid gold, and tucks them into his pouch. These dream blooms, he explains softly, brew a tea that eases the mind into visions of peace, odd gifts from the earth, meant for those who seek harmony. The afternoon builds toward a dramatic crescendo as storm clouds gather unexpectedly on the horizon, their underbellies swirling in shades of deep indigo and silver, thunder rumbling in low, rolling waves that echo through the valleys like a distant drumbeat calling to ancient rituals. Yet the air remains calm near you, warm with the sun's lingering touch, scented with the ozone of approaching rain that electrifies the senses without fear. You quicken your pace slightly, but Bill's steady rhythm reassures, a gentle hand on your shoulder, his presence an anchor in the shifting light. Suddenly, an odd phenomenon manifests. As the first raindrops fall, soft and warm like tears from the sky, they strike the ground and release tiny bursts of light, phosphorescent reactions from minerals in the soil, creating a field of fleeting glows that illuminate the path like scattered stars fallen to earth. The rain intensifies gradually, pattering on leaves with a rhythmic tattoo, pitter-patter, that soothes rather than startles, washing the air clean and filling it with the petrichor scent of renewed earth, deep and grounding. Seeking shelter, you enter a dramatic overhang, a natural cave mouth widened by time, its entrance framed by glowing vines from earlier, now pulsing brighter in the dimming light, their bioluminescence casting a soft, emerald hue inside. The cave's interior unfolds attractively, walls lined with veins of quartz that reflect the vine's glow in infinite fractals, creating illusions of endless corridors where shadows play like living entities. The air inside is cool and still, scented with damp stone and faint echoes of lavender from hidden fissures where wild herbs grow. Bill kindles a fire near the entrance, the flames leaping with that same blue-tinged edge from before, crackling softly and releasing spirals of smoke that curl upward like incense in a sacred rite. The storm outside builds to a symphony, thunder booming in dramatic rolls, rain sheeting down in curtains that shimmer like silver veils, lightning flashing in brief, illuminating bursts that paint the landscape in stark, beautiful contrasts. Huddled by the fire, its warmth spreading like a comforting blanket over your skin, Bill brews the dream bloom tea in the tin pot, the water simmering with a gentle bubble that releases steam scented with vanilla and spice, swirling hypnotically in the cave's glow. You sip slowly, the liquid hot on your tongue, yet soothing as it slides down, flavors blooming in layers, sweet at first, then a subtle bitterness that fades into warmth spreading through your chest, easing every muscle into profound relaxation. The tea's effect is unusual and dramatic. Colors in the cave intensify, the quartz walls pulsing in rhythm with the storm outside. Flash boom, glow fade, flash boom, creating a visual symphony that draws you into a trance-like state. Visions emerge gently, ethereal figures of mountain men past dancing in the rain, native spirits weaving light from lightning, the whispering elder extending branches like welcoming arms. As the storm reaches its peak, thunder crashing like the climax of an epic tale, rain pounding with attractive force that shakes droplets from the cave's ceiling in sparkling cascades. Bill shares the story's crowning revelation in a voice that rises and falls dramatically, yet remains soothing. This cave, this storm, they're the mountain's way of speaking their final truths. Long ago, a trapper like us sought fortune, but found instead the wild's heart, a strange crystal heart buried deep, beating with the land's pulse. He touched it, and it showed him the unity of all things, man and beast, storm and calm, life and rest. He emerged changed, carrying that rhythm forever. His words build tension attractively, the cave's glow sinking with his cadence. Rise, fall, drawing you to the edge of revelation. Outside, the storm begins its gentle subsidence, thunder fading to distant murmurs, rain softening to a drizzle that patters like applause at a tale's end. The unusual elements coalesce, wisps from before reappear, now dancing in the cave's light, forming shapes of harmony, circles of unity, spirals of peace. You feel the dramatic pull toward resolution, the tea's warmth merging with the fire's glow, the cave's hum aligning with your breath. Bill concludes rhythmically. And so we end where we began, in quiet embrace, the wild secrets revealed not in fury, but in serenity's whisper. The night deepens attractively, stars peeking through parting clouds like eyes awakening from slumber, their light filtering into the cave in silver beams that mingle with the dying fire's embers. Sleep beckons dramatically yet gently, eyelids heavy with the weight of wonders witnessed, the spiraling antlers, glowing wisps, pulsing crystals, all fading into a harmonious tapestry. Feel the rhythm now, breaths in and out, heart beat, 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 beat. The world hush, 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 hush. The story closes in peace, odd twists resolving into calm unity, the mountains cradling you eternally. As consciousness drifts, dreams bloom dramatically, soaring over cirques on wings of light, merging with the whispering elder's pulse, storms turning to symphonies of rest. The unusual becomes familiar, the dramatic serene. Good night, wanderer. Let the rhythm carry you home.